Hello, yogis. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm really honored by your presence and your time to do yoga with me. I just want to announce and congratulate the winners of our August challenge. The challenge was take 8 classes in August, and then you win an Amazon gift card. And we have 4 winners: Louisa Woodville, Gabrielle Gallegos, Phil Duke, and Sue Savarine. Congratulations to all of you and good work. Keep up the good work. The series we're working on is boosting your immune system. So your immune system is governed by your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system consists of a bunch of stuff. Your lymph nodes, there are 500 or 600 lymph nodes in your body, and your spleen, they filter out the bad stuff in your body, including cancer cells. And then you have your thymus up here, and then you have your adenoids behind your nasal cavities. All these things work together to keep us healthy. However, our immune system, our lymphatic system, does not work on its own. You have to help it along. It doesn't have a natural pump. So how do you help it? You help it by 2 things. Number 1 is deep breathing through the nose. And number 2 is moving your body, AKA yoga. So the poses that we'll be doing today and in a couple of weeks to come, I'm going to emphasize what part of our immune system those poses are stimulating to help boost our immunity. We're going to start with our breathing. I want you to think about a situation where you're going into a meeting or a room or a task that you're really not crazy about doing, but you have to do it anyway. So what do you normally do? You just take a deep breath through your nose and then you sigh, right? Have you ever come across that situation? Well, that is your prana breath. That big inhalation and the big sigh exhalation is called your prana breath. That is an energizing breath. It helps focus you for what you're about to do and gives you a little boost of energy to tackle whatever that is you want to tackle. The prana mudra is where you take your thumb, hand mudra is a hand gesture, thumb, ring finger, and pinky, and join them together, and your pointer and middle finger is extended, and you just place the palms up on your legs. So this particular mudra, the ancient yogis know that your fingertips and have certain nerve endings that when connected with each other, it's a holistic type of healing. And this particular mudra is called your prana mudra. And you use this when you do prana breath. So let's all try a couple of prana breaths on our own. Close your eyes and let's do 3 of them together, just slowly. Big inhales and sigh, exhale. Don't you feel better already? Ready to tackle. All right. Let's do another mudra, hand mudra, is namaste hands called Anjali mudra. This is prayer position with your hands in your heart center. This mudra is to connect yourself with your own divinity, your spirituality, and to honor yourself and God. So with this mudra, we're going to do a little bit of breathing here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your nose. Inhale as you open your hands, lace your fingers and bring your elbows up to shoulder height. Exhale as you push your palms forward. Stretch as far forward as you can. And then inhale as you bring your palms over your head, pushing up to the ceiling as much as you can. And then exhale as you unravel your fingers, go back to your prayer position hands, and then bring your hands all the way back down to heart center. I will repeat. Inhale, exhale. Lace your fingers, inhale. Exhale, push away. Inhale, push up. Exhale, unlace, push your palms together. Inhale as you bring your hands down to heart center. and then exhale, and then come back to normal breathing. Okay, so that was the first part of boosting our immune system. Deep breathing stimulates our immune system because what our diaphragm does is contracts and pushes down on all our internal organs when we inhale. So that's massaging our spleen and all the other lymph nodes in this area that help protect us. All right, so to continue, we're gonna now recline onto our backs. Oh, and I forgot to greet you. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki, the divine is the inner teacher. David insists that I do that at the beginning of each class. It's sort of his little boost of energy for me. So we're going to lie on our backs with bent knees, please. And this is the start of our asana practice. Asana is physical. This is the part of our physical practice. Let your arms go by your sides just comfortably, and let the normal curve in your lower back be there, just a little bit of space between your lumbar and the mat, and let your shoulders relax. So there are a lot of lymph nodes in your cervical area, your neck area. So this is what we're going to stimulate now. So take a deep breath through your nose. As you exhale, just turn your head to the right. So your right ear is now coming down toward the mat, and you're looking over your right shoulder, feeling a stretch on the left side. And then take your left fingertips and push them down towards your feet and your shoulder down away from your ear. And maybe you feel a little more increase in that neck stretch. And take a couple of big breaths here. And then inhale your head back to center and bring your shoulder back up to normal. Take a deep breath. Exhale, left ear comes to the mat. You're looking over your left shoulder now. And then your right fingertips are reaching down towards your feet, and your right shoulder is down from your ear. And a couple breaths here. And then inhale back to center. Okay, so you know how you feel when you cough. Like do a cough right now and feel what your belly muscles do. Those are your power muscles. We're going to engage those muscles now. When you cough, you probably felt your abdominal muscles tighten and your lower back push into the mat. That's what you want to feel when we're doing these next couple of asanas. So first is going to be like pedaling a bicycle, one-legged bicycle. Keep your knees bent, feet flat on the mat, hip width distance apart. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, straighten your right leg so that the sole of your foot is facing the ceiling. And now this is the part you're going to really have to engage your abdominal muscles. You're going to push your back into the mat as you lower your leg down. Really contract your abdominals, lower your leg, push your back into the mat, and then hover about an inch or two off the mat. Really engaging your muscles here. Breathe a couple of breaths. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bring the knee back into the chest. And then we shall repeat. Inhale, straighten the right leg, sole of the foot to the ceiling, back to the mat. Exhale as you slowly lower your leg back down toward the mat. Hover above the mat, really push your back into the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. One more breath in. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it back into your chest. So when your knee's back into your chest, you can take a little break here, let your back relax and your abs relax. All right, then we'll go into the next. So inhale as you straighten your leg, start pushing your back into the mat, tightening your abs. Exhale, lower the leg down toward the mat, really feeling the abdominal muscles tighten. Breathe, hover, breathe, hover. One more big inhale. Exhale, bend the knee back into the chest, and then place that foot back onto the mat so we can bicycle the other leg. So with both feet flat on the mat, take a deep breath. Exhale, left knee comes in towards your chest. Inhale, straighten the leg, sole of the foot to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly lower your leg, making sure you're contracting your abs, pushing your back into the mat. Hover that leg over the mat about 2 or 3 inches. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, bring the knee back in. Inhale, leg straightens. Exhale, lower the leg slowly. Hover, hover, hover. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Contract, contract, contract. One more breath in. Exhale, knee comes back to the chest. You can take a little break here by relaxing your back and your abs. And then we'll do one more. Inhale, straighten your leg. Push the back into the mat. Exhale as you lower your leg down. Hover a couple of inches over the mat. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your knee back into your chest. And now bring your other knee to your chest so that both knees are there. Take your hands, lace your fingers, hug your shins, and pull your knees to your chest so that you can release your abs and release your back. And then feet come back down onto the mat. And then the next asana is going to be what we call Lake Mudra. It's sort of like a swimming exercise. So your knees are bent, feet flat on the mat, hip width distance apart. And then what we're going to do is we're going to straighten one leg and we're going to take the opposite arm and lift it over our head, palm facing up, so that it ends up near the mat over our head. So we'll do right leg and left arm to start. So engage your abdominal muscles, push your lower back into the mat, inhale, exhale, straighten the right leg, hover the leg on the mat, and then bring your left arm up to the ceiling and then over your head, palm facing up, and that hand hovers above your head. Take a couple of breaths here, push your back into the mat. One more breath in. And as you exhale, bring your knee back in, your arm back down, your foot back down. We'll do that again. Take a deep breath. Exhale, extend right leg and left arm over your head. Hover, hover, hover. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more breath in. And then exhale, bring the foot back in, bring the arm back down. Once more. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the leg, bring the arm up over your head, palm facing up, push the back into the mat. Breathe. Breathe again. One more breath. Exhale, arm comes down and the foot comes back in. And so now, since we have two sides to the body, we'll do the other. So right arm, left leg. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the leg, bring the arm overhead, palm facing up, push the back into the mat to engage those belly muscles and breathe. Breathe again. One more breath. Exhale, bring the knee back in and bring the arm back down. Repeat. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the leg, bring the arm overhead, hover, hover, push the back into the mat, breathe. One more breath in. Exhale, knee comes in, arm comes back down, palms down beside your hips. One last time. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the left leg, bring the right arm over your top of your head, palm facing up. Breathe, push the back into the mat, push the back into the mat. Breathe. One more breath in. And as you exhale, bend the knee, bring the arm down. And then both knees come into your chest again. Clasp your fingers around your shins and pull your knees to your chest, roll around on your spine, release everything. And then please grab a block if you're using blocks, if you have blocks handy. And then come on back onto your backs and take the block in between your thighs, the skinny way. And then once you're here, bring your arms to a T, palms facing up. And then we're going to let our knees, squeezing the block, we're going to let our knees fall to the left. So your right hip is going to come off the mat. Your knees don't have to touch down. If they do, that's good, but they don't have to. You want to keep your chest open toward the ceiling, however. This is going to be a shoulder and arm rotation. This is stimulating all of our axillary lymph nodes, which are the lymph nodes around our armpit area. There are lots and lots of them there. So we're starting with our arms in a T, chest open toward the ceiling. This is also putting pressure on your thymus, which is at the top of your chest. We're going to do a clock shape with our shoulder as we rotate around. But first, we're going to take a deep breath. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our right hand, come meet the left hand. So you're going to roll onto your left shoulder and hands are together. And now we're going to do the clock shape motion. So keep your right palm facing down as you drag your hand on the mat. Right hand's coming above your head. And then when it comes to above your head, you're going to flip the palm back up to the ceiling and continue dragging your hand all the way around till it comes back to the T position that you started in. Your chest is wide open, your shoulders are open, your knees are still to the left. So you have a twist in your body, which is a double benefit because now you're twisting your spleen and all the other internal organs that help your immune system. Inhale, exhale, the right arm comes over your head, and then clap to the left hand like you're closing a clamshell. And then as you inhale, you're dragging your right fingertips along the mat until it comes above your head. And then when you get above your head, you flip your hand up, and then keep on dragging your arm all the way back around till you end up where you started in the T position. Inhale. Exhale, bring the arm over into a clam, clap the left hand, baby seal here. And then inhale as you drag your fingers up over your head. Flip the palm up when you get above your head, and then keep on rotating until you come back to the T position where your arms started, palms facing up. And now bring your knees back to center, keeping the block in between your thighs. Knees will now fall to the right. Again, they don't have to touch the mat. You just want to twist in your body here, and the block between your thighs help you just keep your legs even. Your chest is open, your shoulders down, your left hip is up, and you're on your right hip. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, you're going to bring your left arm over your body and roll onto your right hip. Bring the left hand to meet the right hand. And then inhale as you drag your left fingers up over your head. Flip the palm up when you get above your head, and then keep on dragging the back of your hand down the mat until you come back to the T position. Take a deep breath. Exhale, close the clam. Bring your hand overhead, over your body, and meet your right hand. And then inhale as you drag your left hand once again over above your head on the mat. Flip the palm up, keep on dragging the back of your hand till you end up with the T. Inhale, exhale, shut the clam by bringing your left arm up to the ceiling and then meeting your right hand. And then inhale one more time. We're going to swing our left arm up over our head, palm up. Continue going to a T. When you get back to your T position with your arms, bring your knees back up to center. And then remove the block, roll on to your side and come up to seated. So sit with your knees bent, feet in front of you at a comfortable distance from your hips here. And then we're going to take our hands behind you and support your body. You can have your fingers point out or forward, whatever is most comfortable for you right now. And then lean back onto your hands. And then with your feet hip-width distance apart, right just inside of the edges of your mat, you're going to let your knees fall to the right. So your left hip is coming off the mat. Your left knee is going toward your right heel. So this is a twist of the torso. And then slowly come back up to center. This is like a windshield wiper action. Take a deep breath. Exhale, let your knees fall to the left. So now your right knee is coming toward your left foot. Pause here, and then back up to center. Now we're going to continue this one more time, but we're going to walk our hands around. You'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to take our knees and let them fall to the right again. So your left knee to the right heel. Now you're going to take up your left hand off the mat, and you're going to bring it to meet your right hand on the right side of your body. And now walk your hands to the right so that you're walking behind you. So now your body's twisted so that your your chest is facing the mat behind you, and then come onto your forearms if that's comfortable for you, and your left knees toward your right heel here. And then if that's still comfortable for you, you want to put your head down on your hands, do that, or you can rest your head on the mat. This is a deer pose. It's a wonderful, wonderful stretch. Massaging all of our internal organs. And this is also hitting all the lymph nodes in our pelvic region, our pelvic lymph nodes, and our inguinal lymph nodes, which is in our groin area. Slowly push up onto your hands and then come back around all the way back to center. And then we'll go the other way. So your knees now fall to the left so that your right knee comes to the left heel, right hand comes around to meet your left hand. And now you're just going to continue walking your hands so that your body's facing the back of your mat. And then take your time, sink down onto your forearms if that's comfortable for you. You can rest your head on something if it's comfortable for you to do so. And then take a couple of deep breaths here. And then please push into your hands and walk back around. And then come onto your hands and knees, please, in table position. And here is where you want to pad your knees accordingly, because we'll be here for just a little bit. So starting with a flat back, we're going to do what I call greasing our hinges. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your bottom towards your heels, extending your spine, and touch down towards your heels as far as your spine allows, and then inhale back up the table very slowly. I'm going to do that again very slowly. We're lubricating all of our joints, our synovial fluid in our joints. Take a breath with the flat back. As you exhale, you're going to go back towards your heels, very slow. Exhale through the nose. And then back as you inhale to table. And then once more, bring your bottom toward your heels. And then pause here in cat position. You can rest your head on the mat if you like, or you can even fold your hands here and rest your forehead on your hands. This is really putting a lot of pressure on our organs because your belly is close to your knees. And that's stimulating all your pelvic area lymph nodes and your groin area lymph nodes, as well as your spleen and your arms. If they're extended, you have all the lymph nodes in your armpits being helped out here. And then come back up the table very slowly. Come to a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, lift your right knee to your chest, tuck your chin, nose to knee. Inhale, kick your right leg back behind you. Find a focal point and engage your belly muscles so that you can lift your left arm into our balancing table. So try not to scrunch up your neck here. Try to keep your spine, your head in line with your spine without letting it drop or lift up. One straight line from the crown of your head all the way back to your foot. And breathe. This is really helping your core muscles engage. And then the hand comes down, the foot comes down, extended behind you. So your right toes are on the mat, put weight into your right heel. And now we're going to pivot. So we're going to take pivot onto our left knee. So we're going to kick our left heel out to the side. And we're going to have, we have our left hand lined up with our left knee right now. We're going to pick up our right arm and bring it to a 12 o'clock position. So now your right foot is lined up with your knee, which is lined up with your left hand. This is a modified side plank. And then from here, take your right arm and bring it close to your ear as you can and reach your fingertips over your head as far as you can. And take a couple of breaths here, really opening up the right side of the body, stretching all the lymph nodes in your armpits. We're going to be so healthy after this. Okay, bring your arm back to 12 o'clock and then bring it back down to the mat. Bring the knee back in. Flat back, deep breath in. Exhale, left knee comes up, tuck your chin, nose to knee. Exhale or inhale the left leg straight back behind you, level your hips. And then find your focal point to bring your right arm up. Once again, try to keep your neck in a straight line with the rest of your spine. And there's a straight line from the crown of your head to your back foot. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hand comes down, foot comes down, keep the leg extended behind you. So now we're going to pivot our right foot out. Our right hand stays in line with the knee, and we're going to lift our left arm up into our modified side plank. And your left foot is lined up with your right knee, which is lined up with your right hand. And now bring the left arm beside your ear, stretching as far as you can, your fingertips. Opening up the left side of your body, breathe. And then the hand comes down and the knee comes back in. And now come all the way onto your belly. And then bring your arms beside your body, palms facing up. And you can rest your head on the mat here if you like, just so that your neck stays relaxed. I'm going to lift my head because I have to talk, but you just relax your neck here and push the pelvis into the mat and push your thighs into the mat so that you feel your thighs squeezing inward toward each other, like rotating your thighs inward as if you're squeezing a ball between your legs. If you can push your tops of your feet into the mat, do that as well. And keep that action of the slight internal rotation of the thighs and pushing the pelvis down. And now take your right leg and lift it up off the mat behind you, but keep your pelvis on the mat and stretch your right toes toward the back so that you feel like you're lengthening your right leg. And then relax that leg back down. Make sure you keep that slight internal rotation of the thighs by squeezing the imaginary ball. Push the pelvis in the mat. Now lift your left leg up. Keep the pelvis down. Stretch your left toes to the back of your mat. Feel like you're elongating your left leg. And then that leg comes down. This is called Locust Pose Shalambhasana. We're doing it in stages. Now we're going to do the upper half of the body. With your palms facing up, you're going to lift your head up, your shoulders up, your chest up, and your palms are going to hover about 2 inches up off the mat. And your fingertips are going to reach for your toes, as if you were pulling your shoulders away from your ears and reaching for the back of your mat. Keep pushing your pelvis into the mat as you do this. Think about keeping your head in line with your spine. You don't want to crane your neck or let your neck drop. Just think about shoulders coming away from your ears. Chest is open. Breathe, breathe, and then come all the way back down. Relax. So the final version of this that we're going to do today is both sides, hands and feet. So lift up again your chest, your head, your hands Stretch your fingertips to the back of your mat and now lift both legs up off the mat. Keep pushing your pelvis into the mat. Stretch your fingers and toes way to the back of your mat. Keep pushing your pelvis into the mat. Keep your head in line with your neck. Breathe, breathe. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, breathe, and then slowly lower all the way down. And then bring your arms in front and rest your head on your arms for a brief moment here. And this is resting crocodile pose. So the locust pose, the Shalabhasana that we just did, is a great back strengthener. Great back strengthener. Good for your spine. It's also putting a lot of pressure on your inguinal lymph nodes, which is your groin area. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders. Please push up, back to table. And tuck your toes. Lift your hips into downward facing dog. So in your downward dog, spread the fingers wide. The middle finger is pointing to the front of your mat. Don't forget the pressure in your thumb and your pointer, especially. Your knuckles are slightly bent so that it takes some pressure off your wrists. Bend your knees a lot at first so that you can stick your bottom way up in the air. Pull your forearms toward each other. And in doing so, feel your deltoids roll out. Nice long spine. Your head is melted between your arms. Your chest is melting towards your legs. And now slowly walk up to your hands with bent knees. And when you get there, dangle here for a moment. Grab your elbows and just let a slight bend in your knees. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Use your arms as a little bit of traction to pull your spine. So this is stimulating the adenoids, which is part of our lymph system. The adenoids are behind your nasal cavity. Your nose is your first line of defense for filtering out all the pollutants and germs in the air. So this is helping stimulate the cilia in your nasal passages and your mucous membrane and your adenoids, all part of your defense system. Now, see if you can change your arms so that your hand that was on top is now on the bottom. So you still have your elbows, but you're just switching your arms. It takes a little bit of thinking, at least for me. And very slowly release your elbows and slowly rise up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then let's pause in Tadasana for a couple of breaths, lining up our spine, feet underneath our hips, hip width distance apart, chest forward, shoulders down, palms slightly forward. Your legs are slightly internally rotating, squeezing that imaginary ball so your muscles and your legs are engaged. Shoulders down from your ears and your head is right on top of your shoulders and your belly muscles are tight. Very active resting position here. Okay, now I want to work on a fun little balancing series. The first one I call palm tree because we push our palms together in the center of our chest into our Anjali Mudra that we did earlier. That's why I call it the palm tree, because your palms are together. And this is a two-legged balance. So we're going to inhale as we come up onto our tiptoes and raise our hands above our head. So this really, really stretches out our calves. This improves our calf muscles a lot. And it is a two-legged balance because we don't do this a lot. So sometimes we're a little bit unstable on our tippy toes. And then bring your heels down as you bring your hands back down in front of your chest. And we'll do that again. Inhale as you come up onto your tippy toes, raise your hands up over your head. A couple of breaths here. Really feel those calf muscles work. And then bring your feet down, bring your hands back down. And one more time, inhale up onto the tiptoes. Really work those calves. And come on back down and release. So that was part one. Part two is walking a tightrope. This is a sobriety test. We're going to come to the back of our mat so that we can walk forward on our mat. And we're going to pretend that there's a line, which is a tightrope in our mat. Put one foot in front of the other, heel to toe. So you feel your heel touching your toe. And then we can bring your arms out for balance, just like you do on a tightrope. And then without looking down, we're going to just walk, but we're going to place our heel to our toe. So you're going to feel it, heel to toe, feel it, heel to toe, feel it, heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe until you get all the way up. I think now I'm at the top of my mat. And then pause here with your heel to toe. And now we're going to do the hard part, going backwards. So now toe to heel, 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 and toe to heel. And then we're probably back at the back of your mat now. Good. And then release, shake everything out. And then come back to the front of your mat for the third part of this balance. This is a crane going to a crescent. So your crane arms are like this. You bring your arms up, your fingers pointing down, just like the wings of a crane. Shift your weight onto your left foot and bring your right knee up in front of your chest. Balancing crane here. Okay, so now we're going to be moving while we balance. So that's the challenge here. So we're going to step our foot back behind us and then bring our arms up beside our ears. So we're on our toes, our right toes. This is a high crescent lunge. And then see if you can very slowly look up between your hands and then lean backwards. Keeping your arms beside your ears, stretching your fingertips high. And then very slowly shift your gaze so that you're back upright and center. And now we're going to come back to the crane. So you're going to shift your weight onto the left foot, bring your crane wings back up, bring your right foot in front of you, and then come all the way down. Good. Shake your body out, get ready for side number two. Shifting the weight to the right foot, bring your crane arms, left leg comes up in front of you. Take a couple of breaths here. Now kick your left foot back as far as you can step. Come onto your left toes, and then the arms come up beside your ears into Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. And then very slowly move your gaze so that you can look up between your hands. Make sure you have a lot of weight in that back foot. Lean backwards for a light back bend. And then shift your gaze back forward, front and center, and then come back in slowly to your crane. Pause here, a couple of breaths. And then release. Very good. Good, I hope you had fun with that. All right, standing at the top of your mat, now we're gonna do a little bit of a flow. Starting in Tadasana. I'm going to put together, we're going to do each piece and then we'll put it together all in one. So the first is inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, crescent to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, come sitting into your chair pose. I'm going to breathe here a couple of breaths. So think about, if you look down, you can see the tops of your toes. Your tailbone is down, so you're not sticking your bottom out. And your shoulders are, your neck is relaxed. Your head's right on top of the shoulders. And breathe. Keep your legs parallel to each other. Breathe. And then slowly come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Okay, next inhale up. Exhale, come into your chair again. This time we're going to bring our palms together in front, bring our hands into our chest, and then we're going to twist our torso to the right. So stay in your chair, so you want to bend your knees. Maybe if you can get your left elbow on the outside of your right leg. If not, that's okay too. The other option is just to take your left hand on the outside of the right leg and swing your right arm behind you. Either way, you're getting a nice twist. And then come back to center. And then bring your palms back in and we'll twist to the left this time. Right elbow on the outside of the left. Or you can just grab it with your hand and reach back with your left arm. And back to center. Slowly come on back up. Inhale. Exhale. Arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, bend your knees and forward fold all the way down. Keep your knees bent, bring your hands down onto the mat or to a block if you like. And from here, with bent knees, take your left hand onto your right calf or ankle. And then your right arm is going to open to the right as you straighten your right leg. Keep your left knee bent. And the right arm comes down. And that goes, right hand now goes to your left shin or ankle. Keep the knees bent as you lift your left arm open and then straighten your left leg. And then that arm comes down, bend your knees, slowly roll up. Inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Pause in Tadasana, your resting mountain pose, which is really not much of a rest because you're active, all your muscles are active in mountain pose. Okay, we'll put all of that together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, crescent to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, come into chair. Put your palms together, bring them into your chest, take a deep breath. Exhale, twist to the right. Maybe your left elbow goes to the right thigh. Swing back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, put your hands on your thighs as you straighten your legs and flatten your back into a half forward fold. So your spine is extending long, flat back, tailbone back, crown of your head forward. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Take your left hand on your right ankle. Open your right arm to the right as you straighten your right leg, keeping your left knee bent. Feel the nice stretch in your glutes and hamstrings. And then that hand comes down as you rebend the knees. And then very slowly rise up. Inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T. Back to Anjali Mudra. Inhale back up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale back up. Exhale into chair. Keep your knees bent, hands together, palms into your chest. Take a deep breath. Exhale, twist to the left. If your elbow can come onto the outside of the thigh, go ahead and do that. If not, that's okay. And then back to center into chair. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your hands to your thighs, straighten your legs, flatten your back, extend your spine long. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, hands come down. Right hand comes onto the left ankle or calf. Open your left arm to the left as you straighten the left leg. Keep your right knee bent. We'll pause a couple of breaths here. And then the hand comes down, bend both knees, come all the way back up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T, Anjali Mudra. And then back to Tadasana. Okay, one more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees. Forward fold with bent knees. And then step both feet back into your downward facing dog. Pause here for a couple of breaths. Widen the fingers. Forearms squeezed together. Bottom is way up in the air. Knees slightly bent. Your heels don't have to come down to the mat here, but if they do, you'll get a good hamstring stretch. And then bring your knees all the way down. And then bring your bottom back to child pose. And please now rest your head on something, either your hands, a block, or the mat. By resting your forehead on something that has a really calming effect on your nervous system, all the nerve endings in the third eye area. Okay, slowly push up. And we're gonna come onto our backs again. Have a block handy or a bolster. Starting with bent knees. We're gonna do what I call a rolling bridge. And a rolling bridge hits all of the lymph nodes in your body, your groin area, your pelvic area, your armpits, and your cervical lymph nodes, where those are the areas that the lymph nodes are most concentrated. Start with your hands by your sides, palms facing down, knees bent, your feet are about a hand or a hand and a half length from your bottom. So this is a nice, slow, easy bridge. We're going to roll up our spine and roll up our arms at the same time, and I'll talk you through it. So you're going to push into your feet and lift your hips off the mat, and then start rolling up onto your shoulder tops as you bring your arms up to the ceiling. So now your fingertips are pointing to the ceiling. Keep on pushing up onto the tops of your shoulders, and your arms now fall over your head, palms facing up. If they touch down, that's great. If they don't, that's okay. So now you're in a high bridge. Your spine is rolled all the way up so that your weight is on the tops of your shoulder blades. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, you're going to roll your spine down one vertebra at a time as you bring your hands over your head toward the ceiling, and then bring them back down to your bottom, palms facing down, right beside your hips. We'll roll up again. So as you take a deep breath in, as you exhale, push up, roll your spine up, roll your arms up, roll the bridge open, shift all the way to the tops of your shoulders. This is putting all the massaging of your cervical lymph nodes. Take a deep breath, exhale, bring the arms overhead as you slowly roll your spine down And then your hands touch down beside your hips. And then one more time, slow, easy. Take a deep breath first. Exhale, push into the feet. Roll your spine up. Roll the bridge, the drawbridge open. Backs of your hands touch down maybe on above your head. Take a deep breath here. And then slowly roll your spine back down. Roll your arms back down. And touch your hands down as your hips touch down. Bend your knees and clasp your hands around your shins. Hug both knees into the chest. Roll around on your spine to release your back. And keep hugging your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, you're going to tuck your chin, lift your head, lift your shoulders, and bring your forehead toward your knees. Just keep squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And then slowly roll all the way back down. Let your head relax. Back down on the mat. Keep your knees bent. This is really squeezing all of our internal organs. This is called Pavanmuktasana, and it's translated into wind release pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you bring your head and shoulders up, nose to knees. And then very slowly roll back down. And then release your knees, bring your feet back down to the mat. And then grab a block, lift your hips, and then place your sacrum on the block. Let your arms relax by your sides. And you can keep your feet down here if you like, or you can let them float up toward the ceiling in your waterfall pose. And in your waterfall pose, it should feel effortless, like you're floating in water. And if it doesn't, the block either needs to be moved around, or maybe you just need to put your feet back down and just relax that way. So this mild inversion is super good for our immune system. We're circulating the blood and temporarily taking the pressure of gravity off of our organs and our spine. Opens your chest. Your neck is in a little bit of a flexion here, so that's stimulating your cervical lymph nodes. If you have any edema in your lower extremities, this will get rid of it. And then please very slowly let your feet float back down to the mat. Lift your hips, remove the block. And then let your arms stay in a T, palms facing up. Walk your feet together, and then let your knees fall out to the sides so that the soles of your feet touch each other. So this is simply allowing gravity to open our groin area, our adductor muscles, which are in the inside of our legs, and all the inguinal lymph nodes inside our groin area are being stimulated. Relax as you allow gravity to do its job here in a good way. Sometimes gravity is our enemy because it makes everything sag, but now gravity is our friend, opening up our, massaging all of our lymph nodes, inguinal lymph nodes. Slowly bring your knees back together. And then if you would like to bend both knees to your chest and just give yourself a gentle hug one more time, roll on the spine. And then please bring your feet back down and extend your body long and prepare your body for our final relaxation, Shavasana. And Shavasana is crucial to our overall health and our immune system. It's important to rest your mind and body every day in a meditative-like state. Focus on your breath. Focus on allowing your body to relax. Slow down your breathing. Imagery always helps relax your mind. And this poet, Mary Oliver, is famous for her imagery. And the poem of the week is called Terns, T-E-R-N-S, the bird, not T-U-R-N-S, T-E-R-N-S. Don't think just now of the trudging forward of thought, but of the wing drive of unquestioning affirmation. It's summer. You never saw such a blue sky. And here they are, those white birds with quick wings, sweeping over the waves, chattering and plunging. Their thin beaks snapping, their hard eyes happy as little nails. The years to come, this is a promise, will grant you ample time to try the difficult steps in the empire of thought, where you seek for the shining proofs you think you must have. But nothing you ever understand will be sweeter or more binding than this deepest affinity between your eyes and the world. The flock thickens over the roiling salt brightness. Listen, maybe such devotion in which one holds the world in the clasp of attention isn't the perfect prayer, but it must be close, for the sorrow, whose name is doubt, is thus subdued, and not through the weaponry of reason, but of pure submission. Tell me, what else could beauty be for? And now the tide is at its very crown. The white birds sprinkle down, gathering up the loose silver, rising as if weightless. It isn't instruction or a parable. It isn't for any vanity or ambition except for the one allowed to stay alive. It's only a nimble frolic over the waves, and you find for hours you cannot even remember the questions that weigh so in your mind. Please bring your awareness back to your breath. Slowly deepen your breathing as you gently wake up your body, making small movements. Please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And in doing so, you're sealing off the masculine right side of your body, which is hot, fiery, bright. And you're exposing the left feminine side of your body, which is cool, dark, calm. And that will carry you for the rest of your day. Please very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push to seated. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste. And Jai Yogis. Thank you for coming.